Okay. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, Manager Orthopedic Clinic, and HUDCOroofing.com. Sincerely hope you all had a wonderful Christmas day. Hopefully, you had a great time spent with family and friends, and maybe ate some good food and gave and received some gifts and mostly remembered why we celebrate. We had a great day. Went over to my cousin Steven's house and did a lot of what we said. Good food, great time with family, exchanged some gifts, and all in all had a really, really nice Christmas day. Santa was very good to Drew and all of us. So we'll get rolling here. Monday Night Football tomorrow. We know that the Saints are likely to start Ian Book, and now they have added quarterback Blake Bortles. Obviously, you can't go into the game with one quarterback. Kamara would be the emergency, but they've signed Blake Bortles. It's just so funny. So Blake Bortles is now joining the New Orleans Saints. I'm excited to see Ian Book and how this may look. I know we could have talked about this yesterday, but whatever. So I sincerely hope we don't have to see Blake Bortles. But it's funny how you will talk yourself into things sounding pretty good. Bortles in his career, so right, I mean, he was 6'5", 230, big dude, strong arm, coming out of Central Florida. He was the third overall pick in the draft. And, was with Jacksonville from 2014 to 2019. He played in 78 games, was thrown for 17,000 yards, over 100 touchdowns. So it's funny how you can talk yourself into things sounding good or looking good, but you also realize that when you're the third pick in the draft and you've gone Jacksonville to Rams, Broncos, Rams again, Packers, and now Saints, all in a matter of 2 years. Yeah, something usually didn't go your way. Some of you did mention yesterday about Jeff Duncan's piece about the Saints making a phone call to Drew Brees to try to get him out of retirement for one game. And apparently Brees was on vacation in Hawaii. It was funny because I did see Drew's Instagram. He was swinging a golf club on his Instagram with his family in Hawaii, but apparently said he gave it some thought. But oh man. Anyway. Phillip Rivers, Josh McCown apparently were contacted, but neither worked out. I remember when that was sort of legitimately when Jameis got hurt, and we were legitimately having the conversation about what do they do at quarterback. I remember Phillip Rivers did an interview on WNSP in Mobile, and he didn't shoot down the idea. Basically said he could make it work, but it would take him at least a couple of weeks to get up to speed, to feel comfortable. So for a 1 week, one-off, I don't know that that's a great option. But if we could go back to Halloween when Jameis got hurt. If they had made that commitment then, I think you could be in a completely different spot. But and look, I remember, if you remember, after Jameis got hurt, Scott Shanley came on AFR and said, "Listen, they should call Drew Brees right now because he'd do it." Apparently, they never visited that option. But anyway, all right. Sorry, I thought I heard Drew's backpack beeping. Anyway, all right, let's say some good mornings, see how y'all are doing here. Let me know what y'all got, what you're thinking about here this morning. Ben Giat, what's up? Rap in batches. Tony Janus, Trivia Carter, Greg Phillips, Joseph Armato, good morning, good morning. Irfan Sayad, good morning, good morning. Trivia, I don't want to be that guy, but it's the Jaguars. But it's not only the Jaguars, as I said, it's also like the Packers and the Rams and the Broncos, and I mean, he's been everywhere. It just, when you can't stick, you can't stick. I mean, eventually you look and you realize who the problem is. Roy Lee, good morning. Megan Hurst, good morning. Hey, Mark, good morning. Brandon Atchison, yo. Hope everyone had a great Christmas indeed. Mark, can we assume Miles Brennan will be the LSU starting quarterback in 2022? No, I don't think you make that assumption. I think you go into the spring with him as your number one. But I also believe that they'll add another quarterback somewhere along the way. And and you see, can Nussmeier beat him out? But front runner, sure. That's fair to say. Charlie Gale, good morning. Brian Broom, good morning. Brittany Delahousse, good morning. Hubby got me a bottle of Single Barrel Select Eagle Rare from New News in Youngsville. So good. How about that? Love to hear that. That's a good husband. Getting his wife some Eagle Rare Single Barrel Select. Good husband. I'd have kept it for myself. My big score was, I don't know if you can see it right there. Well, it's there on YouTube and it's there on Facebook. But it's Jack Daniels Select release Coy Hill. That's there, probably only 60 of them in the state of Louisiana this year. It's a 141 proof whiskey. And Coy Hill, I guess, is the top point I was told of where the distillery is. So we cracked it yesterday. Fire in a bottle, man. But it is an experience for sure. So was excited to get that. That was a gift from a mom and dad. So very, very grateful. Troy Abear, good morning. PJ Williams didn't get fined for the hit on Chris Godwin. Well, he shouldn't get fined for the hit on Chris Godwin. There was no flag thrown, and injuries happened in the NFL. I mean, I know there was a bunch of hullabaloo made over that. And, was he a dirty player? I mean, we see guys make tackles like that in every game, every weekend. It's unfortunate that it hurt Chris Godwin. It sucks. I think last week when we were talking about it, my reaction was, I don't like it, but I understand it. All of these defenders have been forced to lower their target because they're told if you hit a player in the head and he's defenseless, they're throwing a flag. Well, what if a defender, we see it all the time, right? Defender turns and then braces for impact. Well, even if you're aiming here and the defender does this to brace for impact or to take on the hit, and then you hit him in the helmet, well, now you're flagged or fined. I mean, I get it. So defenders have had to lower their target. It sucks. I hate it, but I understand it. And honestly, if you go talk to the offensive players, they will tell you, I would rather you hit me high than hit me low. Because they can come back from a head injury. They can't come back from a knee injury always. Shelby, I want to see Kamara taking snaps. Give me John Trey and Kamara at quarterback. You may see some of it. As a matter of fact, I bet you will see some of it in both games. Deborah Coward, good morning. Hey, Dad, good morning. Casey Thibodeau, any news on OCDC for LSU? Nothing new since the reports from Football Scoop about a week ago, and that makes sense, right? I mean, we talked about it. The only reason to make those hires would have been the early signing period. Well, that's past. You're in recruiting dead period. Now you just wait to the end of the season. If you have guys that are currently coaching, you just wait till they finish their season and hire them. Skip, good morning. Dewan Foster, good morning. Let's see, Brandon. Our best bet is Book lights it up, so Saints fans finally have something to be excited about for the future. Maybe, Brandon. I don't know that Ian Book is that guy. Then again, could I make a Russell Wilson comp, who was a third-round pick? Yeah. Third-round pick coming out of Wisconsin. Of course, going to NC State, Wisconsin. Won a lot of games, was very successful. Athletic quarterback, thought to be undersized. And, of course, we know the story. Russell Wilson beat out Matt Flynn in Seattle and has won a Super Bowl and he played in a couple. And has been one of the more consistent quarterbacks in the NFL over the last decade. So there is precedent for someone like that, from a quarterback's mid-round pick who really was just there because he's been undersized. Maybe we can see the same with Book. I'm not sure I'm banking on it. I mean, that's the exception, not the rule, but let's see. Bortles must have one damn good agent. Or he's just a guy that's played a lot of football in the NFL. I mean, when you've thrown for 17,000 yards and 100 touchdowns and you've been around since 2014, you can take snaps. Stephen Wallace, good morning. Josh Bergeron, good morning, Mr. Hudco. Thank you, Josh. I guess I'll take that. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. And, of course, Brock, Batteries Orthopedic Clinic, where they are hiring. If you want a career in the medical profession or have a career in the medical profession, maybe looking for a change of scenery, go check out brortho.com, brortho.com. Maybe start the new year at a new job with a great place like Brock, brortho.com. Kyle DeVille, good morning from Gina. All right. Gina, Louisiana. Todd Harris, hey, Ben Clark, good morning. Elliot Doge, good morning. Phillip Rivers wants to be the Isaiah Thomas of the NFL. What about Joe Johnson? Brandon Brazel, good morning. Yeah, look, if they, even if Ian Book lights it up, like, the Saints aren't going to commit to him next year as the starter. Certainly not after one game. If he starts today and does really well, and they let him start next week, whatever. Like, let's say hypothetically he starts the final 3 games and plays really well. They could maybe go into next year with Book, with this current situation. Book, Hill, Simeon. I still think the most likely scenario for the Saints is going to be bringing Jameis back. Yes, I absolutely think they'll make a run at Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. I don't think they're picking high enough in the draft to be able to make a run at one of the best quarterbacks in this draft. I don't know that there is a best quarterback in this draft that you're committed to. Why would you draft a project when you have one in Ian Book? I think the most likely scenario is Jameis again, which would be a great story, persevering through what he has the last 2 years, he comes back and becomes a star. Brandon Brazel traveling to Memphis from West Monroe. All right, Brandon, be safe on the road today. Jeremy Wiley, good morning. Ryan Dixon, update on the Wade investigation. Nope. Seems like the longer we go, it appears to go away. No, Ryan, it's actually not it at all. Remember, it went to the independent review panel as part of the Rice Commission. And they're not bound by anything with the NCAA. So they're waiting on a ruling there. And you have seen some of the rulings start to come. Auburn, Bruce Pearl got a 2-game suspension. But Chuck Person got like a 6-year show cause. NC State last week had their ruling come down. And Mark Gottfried got a 1-year show cause. Gottfried's not at NC State anymore. So, I think the real question is, let's say the NCAA gives Will Wade a 1-year show cause. Does he sit out for a year and LSU retains him and then just brings him back after a year? I don't know. But Ryan, it's not going away. I mean, make no mistake. It's when the NCAA wants their pound of flesh, they tend to get it one way or the other. The more interesting thing will be, how does LSU respond when you're talking about a very popular coach that is winning and fans love and all that. I mean, Tennessee fired Bruce Pearl, and it was very similar. No, I mean, circumstances were different, but understanding, like, you had a very popular coach that was winning that got in trouble with the NCAA and they fired him. I don't know what Scott's going to do. I know there are some very influential boosters who love Will Wade. Just love it. And they don't always get their say, but or get their way. They can have their say, but it doesn't mean they get their way. Michael Trent Griggs, good morning. Ready to go to Houston and see what the Tigers do? All right. Saints can call Brett. I did get the hazmat Coy Hill, 141.8. Yep. Josh Berger on Matt. Will John Trey play quarterback in the bowl game? If so, will they run mostly Wildcat? Can John Trey throw? Yeah, he can throw. He was quarterback in high school. But you would see a pretty run-heavy game plan, no doubt. I don't know if he's going to play quarterback. They're trying to get the waiver for Nussmeier, but as of now, they still have not gotten that word from the NCAA. So, and I'll tell you, last week, Matt O'Dowd, the walk-on, was on crutches last week. So, you may be down to your final option there with John Trey. If you're Cleveland, do you extend Mayfield? I do, Samuel. Jeremy Haskins decided to switch it up. Give me a wheated bottle. Always been 100% rye guy. Grab Woodford Reserve wheat. Can you recommend a good wheated brand? I wasn't all impressed with the Woodford. Yeah, so the original wheated bourbon is Weller. So if you can ever find a Weller, that's your ticket. It's just very hard to find because they're super popular, right? So these are all the Wellers up here. I don't know if you can see, but it's like the green label is the Special Reserve. That's the easiest to find. The red label is the 107, the antique. The black label is the Weller 12, which is my favorite. The white label is the CYPB, which is probably the most popular. And there's the orange label, which is a single barrel. But anyway, a blue label is the full proof. I don't really love that one. But if you can find Weller, that's your best bet. The one that you can find anywhere that's inexpensive is Larceny. Larceny is a wheated bourbon. It's $30, and you can find it anywhere. It's not as good as Weller, but if you want to try something different from the Woodford wheated, that's an option for you. Raid Abdel Majid, good morning. Merry Christmas. Rode Yule. Where's Eric Brooks when you need him? Oh, God. David Rabb, good morning. Obviously, the Saints have to address quarterback issues. I think they need to address the backfield and have solid complement to Kamara back there. Yeah, look, that was Latavius Murray, and they cut him for cap reasons. And they really liked Tony Jones Jr. at the start of the season. He got injured, and so they brought in Mark Ingram, who when they were playing well earlier this year was playing well, but he's been injured and then was on the COVID list and just hasn't really factored in much. But yeah, they'll absolutely have another back to complement Kamara. Let's see. John Melanson, good morning. Sheldon Adams, season's greetings from South Africa. What are the realistic chances the Saints trade for a quarterback in the offseason? Well, they're going to add somebody, Sheldon. We just kind of went through that. I don't know that Rodgers is super realistic. I think Russell Wilson would be more realistic. Bill Barnwell up at ESPN.com this week had a piece on that and basically projected Russell Wilson to the Saints. And it was for 2 1s, 2 3s, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And I would do that deal. It would really pay me to see C.D. Deuce go, but I'd do that deal for 2 1s, 2 3s, and a player to bring in a franchise quarterback that with a healthy Kamara, healthy Michael Thomas, Ramczyk, Armstead, McCoy, Ruiz, Pete, I mean, all that you've invested in that offensive line, all the talent, the skill guys that you have on the offensive side to make a run, and knowing how good that defense is to make a run at it, yeah, I do it. Tim Gautreau, Kyle Milliken, Matt, any good whiskey for Christmas? I told you I got my one score was from my parents, which is the Coy Hill, the Jack Daniels Coy Hill. I'll show you. So every year they do a special release. Jack does. You can see it here on the label where it says 2021 special release. So this was their special release for this year, and the state of Louisiana only got like 60 bottles. So they have stepped up their game from the old number 7 Black Label as really their which is it's the best selling whiskey in the world, but most people dump it in a cup of Coke and ice, but Sprite. But they've, as the whiskey category has grown, they've stepped up their game with their special releases. Dwayne Boudreaux, Ghastly Gamer. You keep ignoring the other walk-on QB, Falk. Ghastly Gamer, I just haven't heard his name at all. Like, literally nobody has mentioned his name to me as far as being an option to play in this game. So, Alex Barnes, thank you for having Gordon McKern on AFR. Enjoyed the interview. Yeah, man, thanks for listening. If y'all missed it, had Gordon on, what day was that, Thursday? And talked about NIL and how he's sort of starting to rally a lot of the prominent LSU supporters to get organized around NIL and make it known, through those circles that that LSU's playing ball. That the business community is going to support LSU athletes, which is great. You need it. Y'all know I've been talking about that for weeks and how LSU is falling behind there. And some people just sort of rolled their eyes and assumed, oh, LSU's got money, this or that. It's not about if LSU has money. Is the business community organized to support athletes through the NIL structure? And they weren't, period. Like, that's not even, like Gordon told you, they weren't. It wasn't happening. But he's helping make up for lost time. Pat Huseman, good morning. James Metvin, good morning. Looking bad for these college football teams with COVID and college basketball teams. Yeah, and I don't want to start having all the COVID conversations again, but the thing that's a great thing is with the new variant, people aren't getting sick. Go look at all the data that's out there for the state for hospitalizations. There are none. None, but I think maybe 3 at the Baton Rouge General, and apparently there are patients that have been there for a long time that have been there with Delta. There are literally no patients at Baton Rouge General with the new variant. Okay, so it's contagious. It's spreading rapidly. Nobody's getting sick. Who cares, right? Why are we shutting down? It's been my point from the very beginning of the whole COVID conversation is there has to be a degree of common sense that reigns, and that's lacked largely in this. It's been an overwhelming lack of leadership from the federal, state, local levels all across the board. Anyway, Merrick Mathern, Greg Mathern, good morning. Already present. DeJuan Foster, Texas Bowl prediction. Let me see who's playing, man. I told y'all there were going to be opt-outs, and now you've seen Neil Farrell, you've seen Damone Clark. That's not all. There's going to be more. And you're going to have academic casualties. Like, something I haven't seen reported anywhere is last week LSU, their long snap, they were having guys stay at practice to practice long snapping because their long snapper was going to be a guy that was ineligible. I'm telling y'all, it's... Oh, all I can do is tell y'all stuff. Y'all ain't got to believe me, but... Kenneth, Kyle, Matt, I missed it. What's the latest on Will Wade? No, there's no update. It's someone asked if it was because we haven't heard anything, is it going away? Fred Flintstone, Drew Brees is scared to help. Wait, Drew Brees is too scared to help out. He's old. His old team when they need help at quarterback. Are you serious? Like, are you going to call Drew Brees scared to help his old team? I mean, you do realize physically what goes into getting prepared to play in the NFL. And when you haven't done it in a year, never mind. Never mind. Did you do the Coy Hill deed? I did, Ryan. Of course I did. I don't drink anything like that on rocks. Come on, bro. Jesse McGraw, Matt, if Book looks good, do you let me play the season out and maybe into the playoffs? Or do you go back to Hill? Really depends how he plays. I mean, if he spins it and looks great, I give him another start. Absolutely. Shelby, 54 days. I think Fontenot could end up being a Hess-type guy. Max effort pitcher that's best suited for the back end of the bullpen. I know he's gone long in instances, but long-term he's a pen guy. We'll see. I don't know if I agree with that. Because Fontenot's not there throwing 97, 98 at the back of the bullpen. I think Fontenot could be better suited as a starter. See if you can do it. Devin Steve, good morning. Alan Hurd, morning, Matt. Thanks for doing these shows and great content, inside info. Do you think we get info on what kids in school are getting from NIL? Love to see the haves and have-nots. Yeah, I mean, you've seen some of that info leak, right? Like, you saw the deal Bryce Young did before the season started when Saban said he's got 7 figures in NIL deals. I know some Matt Corral deals have leaked. I mean, look, GameCoin did a deal with Matt Corral. And if you're talking about the terms of those deals, yeah, I mean, some of it will leak, but not all of it. There was the high school kid who signed a deal last week. So it was a 5-figure deal. I think it was a 4-figure deal. I can't remember if I said 4 or 5. But there's some of that will come out. I don't know how specific it'll be. I got to pick one. DeBake or Jimmy G as your next QB1. DeBake? Dude, what am I missing with DeBake? I guess I was confused about the Aaron Rodgers contract. Thought Green Bay structured his contract to make him free agent after the season to get him to end his holdout. Yeah, he's not going to be a free agent after this year, but they restructured the deal to where next year his cap hit is so astronomical they can't justify having him on the roster. We looked at this yesterday. So Rodgers after this season, they do have a potential out after the season, where his dead cap would be $26 million. So he'd still count $26 million against the cap next year. But if he were on the roster, his cap hit would be $46 million. So they restructured it essentially to where they'll save $20 million against the cap if he's not on the roster next year. And then the dead cap the following year goes to $7 million. So it's safe to say, and especially because then your quarterback would be a rookie on a rookie contract, you could afford the dead money cap hit if you're Green Bay for 2023. Oh, Baker Mayfield, DeBake. I was like, DeBake? Did people call him DeBake? D-A-B-A-K-E? Anyway. So Rodgers will not be back in Green Bay, barring something drastic where they restructure a deal again. So he'll be somewhere. Where will that be? I don't know. Caleb Breednack, my wife won Christmas. Weekend trip back to Baton Rouge in April to see Garth Brooks. Probably going to catch LSU Georgia at the box as well. Very cool. Very, very cool. Jack Laverne, do coaches' salaries come down now to support NIL deals? Nope. Ryan Dixon, if you had to put your paycheck, does LSU play, yes or no? I'll say yes, because the administrators keep insisting they're going to play. But if they play, I'm telling you, it's going to be with fewer than COVID numbers. You had to have 53 scholarship players to play last year in COVID, and they're not going to have 53 scholarship players available. I'm telling you, it'll be fewer than that. But they keep insisting they're going to play, so I'll believe them. Josh Bergeron, Matt, will you and T-Bob be doing a whiskey and wine show for the bowl game? So Josh, the bowl game's on a Tuesday, so at 8 o'clock. So I don't think we're going to start whiskey and wine at like midnight on Tuesday when T-Bob's got to do OTB the next morning. Maybe we'll do like a season recap, whiskey and wine, like the next weekend or something like that. Patrick Cason, what's up? Taylor Kale, Adrian Bailey, Nick and Bradley Hole, what's up? Let's see. Kyle Milliken, lights, Camara action, ready to see him go beast mode. I hope so. Michael Tolliver, good morning. Bearded Dragon, Tigers beat A&M with shortage of players, and the Aggies opt out of playing their bowl cause of shortage of players. Is Fisher really scared, or is there something I'm missing? He seems scared to me. Now, Bearded Dragon, so A&M had positive COVID tests for like 20 players. They were down to like fewer than 40 players available. Like 38 players available. Like, keep in mind, last year for COVID, the minimum players you had to have was 53. Like, you had to have 53 scholarship. They're at like 38. No, you're not going to play a game with 30. Like, the NFL doesn't even, like, the NFL is 49 as your game day active. Whatever, it's 45. What's the NFL active game day? NFL active game day roster. It's 48. They upped it from 46. So anyway, like in the NFL, you have 48, and that seems thin. 38 in a college game. Come on, man. Hawaii opted out of Hawaii had to back out of the Hawaii Bowl because of COVID. Come on, man. Like, let's not get into the whole "are you scared" thing. That's just stupid. Let's not be fans like that. Like, or they're scared. I'm scared of playing Wake Forest. Come on, man. Like, if you don't have enough players, you don't have enough players to go play. Let's see. Eric Wilderrotter, the Saints are 500 at home after the Rams game. Do you think dome field advantage is overrated? There was a run there where they were the best team in the league at home. And they aren't anymore. If the Saints trade Deuce, I'm done with them. OC Deuce. No, you're not. If you like the team, you like them more than just one player. Kyle Milliken, which Pro Bowl player would you rather them trade to get a quarterback? I mean, Chauncey hasn't made a Pro Bowl, but I'd trade him. I mean, I love the guy. I do. I love the player. But you can replace a safety. It's really hard to get a quarterback. Ryan Caldwell, he's saying Baker. The Bake was Baker Mayfield. Okay. So who did he say? Baker or who? Jimmy G or Baker. I would prefer Baker. Jimmy G, Derek Carr, or stick with Winston. Jameis. Green Bay screwed themselves. What if Rodgers wins a Super Bowl with him? He's gone next year. They'll be kicking themselves for that. I mean, he won the MVP last year. He might win it again this year. But, I mean, there's just clearly a personality divide that's done. I mean, look, the Colts let Peyton Manning walk, and he still had stuff left in the tank. They committed to their future, which was luck at the time. The Packers let Brett Favre walk, and he wasn't done. He got the Vikings within an overtime of getting to the Super Bowl. But they committed to their future, which was Rodgers, and it paid off. So, New England let the greatest quarterback ever walk, and they committed to their future here in Mac Jones. Let's see how it works out. Sometimes you just got to make that. You have to make that call, whenever it is. Let's see. So the Ian Book era starts in NOLA. How do you think he will do? I have no idea. Honestly, not great. I'm not expecting much. Just being candid, we saw Ian Book play one half of the first preseason game, and he was okay. I think he was 9 of 16, something like that, for 126. A bad pick at the end of the game, which sealed it. I'm worried about turnovers. Rookie quarterback making his first start. And Miami's defense has been, over their winning streak, the best in the league at getting sacks. So, and if Armstead and Ramczyk aren't out there, then I'm worried. I'm worried about a makeshift offensive line, trying to protect a rookie quarterback making his first start with no receiving options against one of the most active defensive fronts in the NFL. That's just not a great recipe. So how do I think he'll do? Not great. That doesn't mean I think he has no potential to be a good quarterback in the NFL. I'm just not expecting much Monday. I just hope they can find a way to win. Shane O'Mac, good morning, Matt. Any chance of getting some whiskey and wine, hats, or shirts next season? Maybe. That's not really my department. I mean, sure. I'm not opposed to it. But I'm also not going to be the guy that spearheads that within guarantee. Bearded Dragon. Okay. Sorry, Matt. Definitely was something I was missing, listening wrong people, obviously. Was that about the A&M stuff? It's okay. No, I mean, it's just I understand fans do what fans. I'm not saying that that's where you are, Bearded Dragon. But the notion that a football program in the Southeastern Conference, which is contractually obligated to play in a bowl game based on the bowl tie-ins and the SEC bylaws, they're contractually obligated to play in that bowl game. They've got a coach that's making $100 million. Like, you don't just decide you're not going to play in a game because you're scared. There's just no it's illogical. It's stupid. It's just a stupid thing to say. I'm not saying that you're stupid there, Bearded Dragon. I'm saying, like, I've seen that, and it's just a stupid thing to say that it's just sans logic. Anyway. No, they're not scared. It's not why they opted out of the Gator Bowl, or they pulled out of the Gator Bowl. It's because they'll give 38 players. I mean, you can't go play a game with 38 players. Like, I want to go watch high school games, and there'd be teams with 30 players. I'm like, Jesus, how are they playing? Like, I feel so bad for them. Anyway. Spurge, what's good? Matt, do you think Sean already has conversation with Russ and Aaron? No, that would be tampering. T-Bob hit Creed on Twitter. Sounds like a cat being mashed. Oh, God. Josh Bergeron. Matt, your facial expression when you read some of these questions is priceless. So you're saying I'm I'm descriptive with my facial expressions. Keith Vickner. What's up, Keith? Good morning, man. Merry Christmas from the North Shore. Hope y'all doing great, man. Hope y'all had an awesome day. Man, Keith was talking yesterday about our old Christmas Eves at Grammy and Gramps' house, where, man, I started like listing off all the people. Man, those were some shindigs, man. Huge parties. I hope y'all are doing well, man. Let's see. Kyle DeVille. In my mind, Winston comes back, and if Book does good, he gets elevated to second. He'll accept being a utility guy or gets traded. Just my thoughts. Yeah, I mean, look, the only guy that really believes that Taysom Hill's a quarterback are Sean Payton and Taysom Hill. And maybe Mark, who comments here. Seems to be convinced that Taysom Hill can be the guy. Now, this experiment should pretty much cinch that Taysom Hill's not going to ever be a quarterback. Todd Harris, LSU got some good players in the early signing period. From the highlights I've seen, some really high motor, nasty guys. Yeah, it was a quality over quantity deal, no question. And now you add the numbers. Charlie Cavell, what's up? Ross Dugas, what do you think about Chicago seeking out Sean Payton? Does he leave New Orleans? Does he stay put? I don't think Sean Payton's ever leaving New Orleans. When he leaves New Orleans, it will be to retire. Tom Benson committed to Sean Payton. Sean Payton did like an 8-year contract extension. And the other thing, let's see. So Sean Payton and the Saints signed a 5-year extension in 2019. So, I mean, he's under contract now through 20. No, I want to see if that was an extension or if it started in 19. So say he's under contract through the 24 season. So he's got 3 more years on his contract. As always, y'all shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Just joining us. Remember, they are hiring over at Brock. New year, you want a new career or a new place if you're in the medical field, brortho.com. Check out the positions they have available, brortho.com. Of course, Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. I was talking to my godmother yesterday. They live in Pelican Point. We did Hudco did their roof after the storm. I said, man, there are still so many houses in Pelican Point with blue tarps that need roofs. It's just, man, if you know someone that is getting the runaround, maybe it's you, a family member, neighbor, whatever, tell them to give us a shout. Like, we've got materials, we've got crews, we're jamming. So, like, we can get to you, maybe even in just a couple of weeks. So, like, get to us. We can get that ball rolling. HudcoRoofing.com, HudcoRoofing.com. Jason Austin, let's see. Saints will never win a Super Bowl with Jameis. Nothing against Winston. This team is a few games above 500 with him under center. Yeah, I just don't think that's a smart comment. They were 5-2 and leading the division with him. They were starting to take the reins off, and I'll continue to say what I said all along, which is you're talking about a guy who is physically gifted enough to be the first overall pick. Won at every level he'd ever played, and we were going to see what it would be like with him, with an absolutely elite offensive coach, play caller, had the humility to sit and watch for a year behind Drew Brees and learn from Brees. I would have certainly been interested to see what it looked like with a healthy Mike Thomas, healthy Alvin Kamara, healthy offensive line, healthy Jameis Winston. Suffice to say, I think if Jameis were healthy, They beat Atlanta. I mean, they beat Tennessee. You know, they're probably right there with Tampa right now, battling for the division lead, if not leading the division. So, and then as far as they never win a Super Bowl, to speak in absolutes, as we learned, is just stupid. I mean, but Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. Come on. Jimmy G had a 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter in a Super Bowl. I mean, come on. Are you going to do any shows on baseball? Maybe Terrio and end of series. Oh, you mean like a whiskey and wine type deal? Maybe. We've talked about that actually for several years now, doing something like on a Sunday to wrap a series wrap type deal. Just it's never materialized. We'll see. Jude Jarro. Matt, what are our chances of getting the safety from Ponchatoula and the running back, Javonte Citizen? Well, if you're going to get Jacoby Matthews, you're going to have to pony up NIL money, period. I mean, I don't know what other ways I could say this. He was committed to LSU. He went to an elite camp with other 5 stars, came back from that elite camp and decommitted, and all of a sudden was interested in Alabama and Texas A&M. Why do you think that was? I mean, and I'm not guessing, by the way. LSU will have to, there will have to be a very healthy NIL opportunity for Jacoby Matthews. He wants to play at LSU. He wants to play at LSU, but you got to get in that game. Jason Austin, just joining something. Did I miss something? Is LSU not playing the Bowl? No, they're playing. Somebody asked me if I had to put my paycheck on it, is LSU playing or not? And then someone earlier was talking about A&M backing out of the bowl game. Would he put his guaranteed $1 million a month paycheck on it? Steven Schneider, Jameis is on pace for 40 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. What are you talking about? Thank you. Ashari, what's good, man? Hope you're doing well. Keith H., good morning. Hope Santa was good to Drew. He was. Thanks. Probably too good. Glenn Garner, good morning. Why in the world is the rumor about Breeze getting so much spin? Well, it wasn't a rumor. I mean, it was a report from Jeff Duncan. When you have a credible reporter who says that the Saints reached out to Breeze, it's going to be interesting, right? I mean, could Breeze come out of retirement for a game to play for New Orleans? Let's see. I think Baker is a fascinating prospect, unhealthy with a lot of talent. Bad decision making, like Sean did with Jameis. I believe he could help the reset Mayfield's career. I don't know if you're Cleveland. I mean, you've invested so much there. I don't think you move on from him. Let's see. If the Saints team should squeak into the playoffs, I think Sean has to be considered coach of the year. Completely agree. He won't, though. Just the nature of how those awards work. Why does the NFL have a 53-man roster with only 48, 49 guys dressed out for game days? Money. I mean, I'm completely agreement with you because you get game checks, and to have those extra, well, it used to be 46, 45, and they've upped that number now, but money, I mean, it's why. Glenn Garner, will we see Scone Stradamus again on Monday night? I don't know. Scone Stradamus only shows up when Scone Stradamus correctly predicts the result of a game. And I have not yet made a pick on Saints Dolphins. Alex Barnes, Matt, want to say that you inspire me to be the best father I can be after watching you with Drew. I have triplets. 2 are autistic. I truly thank you, and may God continue to bless you. Thank you, Alex. It's very, very kind, man. Very kind for you to say. Man, like any dad, but it's just the best job in the world, man. You know, everybody has challenges with their kiddos. Ours are just different, you know. They're just different challenges. Doesn't mean that they're any more or less or greater or whatever. It's just we all as parents feel the same emotion, don't we? You know. But thank you for the kind words. Dwayne Boudreaux, yeah, you're right. I love my boys. Who dat? Wendell Norman, good morning, Matt. I believe in Sean Payton as a coach and talent evaluator. Me too. He's got 15 years of evidence in New Orleans to suggest that he knows what he's doing. George Reitmeyer, morning, Matt. I hope you had a good Christmas. Thank you, man. Ancestor, good morning. R.I.P. Desmond Tutu. Desmond Tutu. Wow. 90 years old. I have to read up on him. Honestly, can't say that. Let's see. Anglican Bishop Theologian. Anti-apartheid leader. Wow, 90 years old. What a life, huh? For sure. What a life. Man, talk about leaving your mark on the world. Wow. Patrick Cason, Matt, watching the baseball games live with you and former players was awesome. Any chance to set that up again? Patrick, I don't know that we can, man. Part of Guarantee's new contract with the LSU Sports Radio Network was that we could not do companion shows anymore. Now, if I did it on my YouTube channel and not ESPN's, theoretically, that's not a conflict with anything. But LSU could raise a stink about it, and Guarantee could, I'm certain, respectfully ask me not to do it, and I would say, okay. So, I don't know. Well, I love doing it, and I'd be happy to do it. We're just going to have to see, Bring in Baker, Jarvis, and Hunt, all the issues addressed in one fatal swoop. Not fatal swoop, but maybe one fell swoop. Kevin Allgood, what's up, man? Let's see. Who is starting quarterback for LSU in the bowl game is going to be the walk-on. So I mentioned this earlier. Matt O'Dowd was on crutches last week. That's the walk-on quarterback. They have not yet heard, at least not that I'm aware, they've not gotten word on their waiver appeal for Nussmeier to play and maintain his red shirt. And if it's no on Nuss, then that's John Trey. Shelby Kelly, I'd say triplets is a very different challenge. Shout out to all the dads giving their best. Amen to that. Amen to that, Shelby. Oh, yeah, we might be just about done here. Any more? Davis loses his streak also this week. What a shame. I marinate my chicken wings in Red Devil hot sauce. Okay. How many times is Book getting sacked tomorrow night, Matt? I mean, Miami during the streak right now is averaging like 4 sacks a game. So, didn't they have 6 last week? I mean, 3 or 4 is a conservative guess. Especially if Ramczyk and Armstead don't play. And remember, Jordan Mills, who started at right tackle last week, he's out with the COVIDs. So I literally don't even know who's going to play right tackle for this team. If Ramczyk and Armstead aren't back, you have Hurst at left tackle. I have no idea who's going to play right tackle. Like, literally zero clue who they would play. Because Jordan Mills is out now, too. I don't know. I literally have no idea who that would be. I mean. And the media right now isn't allowed at practice because they've gone back to the old COVID protocols. So everything's virtual. So it's not like they get to even go out there and see who's running where. Caleb Beninock, maybe? I'm telling y'all, they are. Let's see, practice. Let me see practice squad linemen. Forrest Lamp. Oh, they got Gerald Hawkins. The Saints have Gerald Hawkins on the practice squad. I didn't know that. Oh, wow. Gerald Hawkins could play. I didn't know they had Gerald Hawkins on the practice squad. Wow. Did they just sign him? How did I miss that? I mean, Hawkins was with the Steelers. Played a lot with the Steelers. He was in New England. Let's see. Steelers 2017, Tampa 2019, Steelers 2020. Just played in 19 career games. Huh. Played in 13 games with Pittsburgh last year. Huh. Wow. Anyway, I mean, you see, we're like that's where we are right now, you know. Cody Thurber, thoughts on Book as the Saints starter? Best case, he's Russell Wilson. Most realistic case, he's Chase Daniel. John DeRoche, what's the answer to the college football bowl fiasco? Play the ones you can. Don't play the ones you can't. Stop testing for COVID. And nobody's getting sick from the Omicron variant, whatever it's. Like, this is very different from Delta. Delta was very significant. This one is not. So stop worrying about people getting the Omicron or whatever it's called. No, like, nobody's getting sick from this. The fact that people are shutting down their lives over something that's literally not even making people sick is bizarre. Jason Austin, hopefully we can get Nuss at quarterback. Hate it for Brad Davis with this being his moment. Yeah, he'll have many moments in his career. Hey, Tony Williams, good morning. Can't close without a Hudco hustle. I think we did. Well, I don't know if we did the Hudco jingle this morning. So what the heck? Let's do it.
Someone you know, Scone and Terrio. All you need is Hudco. Call Hudco Roofing. 364-1007.
All right. Hudco Roofing. Trivia, do it for baseball season, ask for forgiveness, not permission. Yeah, it doesn't really work that way, man. Hey, Daryl St. Pierre, thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right, I think we're just about done, y'all. Thanks for being here. Have an awesome day. As always, shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. YouTube, do me a favor, smash that like button on the way out. If you've not done so, smash the like button. And please subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet to the Matt Moscona YouTube channel. Facebook, please like the page, share the posts. We appreciate y'all so much. Brock, brortho.com, Hudco, HudcoRoofing.com. Enjoy your Sunday. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. See you tomorrow.